folks? Welcome back to another video. My name is Professor Vincent. Today we're going to be talking about why I'm doing what I'm doing in my investment journey, and what are my thought processes, what am I doing, and why am I doing it. So we always go over the market details, and we're going to get into those today as well, because I base everything off pretty much of that Excel spreadsheet. So let's get into it today. These are the numbers that we see. And as you can tell, what I usually talk about in my videos is what I am investing in. So what I have done in the past few weeks is sell everything. I've been selling everything except what is highlighted in yellow. And that is because I believe the sets that are in yellow are going to be the sets that will outperform every other set. And so I'm not diversifying into everything like everyone else is doing because I want to get exponential gains because I believe these are going to perform the best. I think they're going to double the fastest, and we're going to keep burning and turning after we get our doubles, right? So I believe Prismatic Evolutions is going to do similar as to 151. I think it's going to do even better. Over $600 in ETB, right? So I'm stacking up on as many ETBs as I can right now for Prismatic Evolutions because this is going to be the closest set to get not printed anymore, right? It has a massive total value gain for Prismatic, so all the evolutions are in there. So there's huge potential, huge growth because everyone loves those. Like you can't really hate on the EV evolutions and the EVs. So I've never heard anyone do it. So it's just people love the cards, right? And so that reflects on the total value of the sets. And it's really going off of Evolving Skies, as it had not all of them. The Espeon was in a different set, but it had most of the evolutions, and you see how well that set did. And that was a booster box set, right? So specialty sets is what I mainly go into, which are the sets without the booster boxes. When you have sets without the booster boxes, as you can tell, the pack price goes up exponentially more than the other sets, right? And that's what we want, right? Because that means we can double our money faster if we put our money into it, right? But I also did throw in Destined Rivals, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But I want to really kind of glaze Prismatic Evolutions. I think it's the cheapest set right now, honestly, for the value that you're missing out on. So Prismatic Evolutions has really hard print rates, and it has massive cards in it. It has a $1,500 card in it that grades at over like 6,500 for a PSA 10 Umbreon for Prismatic Evolutions. So extremely valuable set, and the packs are only $13. With that, it is also over double the total value of 151, and so that is why I believe it couldn't do better than the $600 in ETB. But we're gonna find out because we're gonna make videos every single week figuring out these numbers, right? And so Destined Rivals. And so Destined Rivals is another set that I haven't talked about on the channel here, because it's very hard to buy into it. But I would say it is a fantastic hold. And so I did not sell all of my Destined Rivals. So I'm keeping it because I believe that it's going to be easier to sell a Destined Rivals booster box later on rather than other sets at higher values, right? So once you get up in over $1,000 cards and over $1,000 sealed product, you start getting away from most of the consumers that are buying, right? So you have just a smaller amount of people that are actually able to buy that product, right? And the more the price goes up, it's just harder for a lot of more people to spend that amount of money. And I think Destined Rivals is going to be a fantastic one to hold, especially when it does grow in that higher value. So we're gonna hold it. We're gonna hold it, and that's what I see. Like I posted on, I had a Facebook Marketplace, just selling on Facebook Marketplace, and I had Destined Rivals on there. I had basically all of my product, right? I sold it all from all the sets from Twilight Masquerade up, and I had literally my Phantasmal Flames booster boxes. They went like super fast, and everyone was wanting as soon as I posted it. as soon as I posted Destin Rivals on my Facebook Marketplace for my booster boxes and ETBs, I got 30 messages within the hour. And so that is an indicator to me that I will probably always be able to sell Destin Rivals. And so I'm going to hold it for the long term. I really believe in the sleeve sealed packs for Destin Rivals. I think those are going to do really well, and I think everyone has the opportunity to buy those. I think they're going to perform really well, and they always do a lot better than the actual packs, which I don't invest into packs for mainline sets because of the growth, right? When I look at the numbers, even good sets like Paldea Evolved, it's only at $12.71, right? The gain there, right? It takes, you're only making 30% on your money, and so it's a hard investment for me to get into, but I do recommend doing the sleeve because it is an extra seal around it, and it's a sealed product basically, and it just does better, and that's what we want. I would rather have those, which I only have those now. I don't have any. I don't have any just random sealed packs. I only have or keep the sealed sleeved packs because of that reason. But it's really hard to buy Dustin Rivals right now. I know it's like I said earlier, it's getting harder for the average consumer to just spend $600 on one item that you might only. Yeah, I think the card in Destin Rivals is like 550 anyway, so if you don't get, even if you do pull the best card in the set, you lost money basically unless you grade it, which you have to spend more money to do, and then you have to wait forever to get it back. So it's the cost of doing it, and I think there's a lot less people ripping it. But I think it is a Team Rocket set. People do have a lot of emotions around it, and I think it's going to be easy to sell when it does get over $1,000 a box. I think it'll be super easy. After once it actually starts moving, I think more and more people will continue to buy it. But we're going to test it out. Black Bolt and White Flare. So I've got a bunch of ETBs of these. I think you are going to be missing out massively if you do not get into Black Bolt White Flare right now. I think it hasn't had his jump yet. I still believe people are forgetting about it, and the total values are continuously growing, and it's not affecting the ETB price as much. So I'm not really buying the Pokemon Center ETBs for this. I'm only buying Pokemon Center ETBs for Prismatic Evolutions and Ascended Heroes right now, as those are the big whale sets, right? Those are the ones that we're gonna want to mainly have a chunk of our net worth and just capital put into. But I still like going over Black Bolt White Flare. I'm still buying it. I'm still getting ETBs in like $85 to $90, which is it's just people just want to sell it. Like they don't want to hold on to it. They believe they're seeing Ascended Heroes come out. People are just losing their absolute minds over it, which we're gonna get into, which we will get into. Um, the Like I said, ETBs, if you can find them on Facebook Marketplace and get deals for $90, 85, I think you should do it. I think, I mean, even if you are selling Black Bolt White Flare, I still think it is a play for you as long as you're buying Ascended Heroes or Prismatic Evolutions or Destined Rivals and getting into those sets. But really, what I'm doing is holding on to Black Bolt White Flare because we're getting into what I am doing, right? We're getting into what I do, what I'm holding, and we're still waiting. We're still waiting for my quoting and my boxes for my business, and I will be letting you guys know so you can hold your product for long periods of time and really have storage for it. I think that's going to be a huge problem that I will be solving. So I look forward to showing you guys that product here soon. But yeah, pack price $11 and $10 now. We've shot up from nine and eight. So the movement there is doing really well. So now, Ascended Heroes, the set to be the most insane set that has ever come out. It is continuously rising back to where it came from. When it started out, it was out like 8 to 9,000, and so we're there. We're pretty much there. We're getting there. But I think this is a huge this is a huge opportunity for a lot of people to realize that the whales are here. I want you guys to know that the whales, they have entered the market, right? They're seeing all these, values. If they see my Excel spreadsheets, they're going off of the percentages, right? So once you get to become a big dog, 5% is huge, right? 5% is a huge gain when you have $1 million, right? $1 million, 5% is 50K. Some people don't, most people that are in the hobby don't make 50K, right? And they are just trying to make 5%, right? And then they're seeing Ascended Heroes, come out and now it's doubling within like a month or two, right? And then they're getting 100%, right? So these big guys, the whales with a lot of money, they're happy to throw $100,000 into as many Ascended Heroes. You don't think the big dogs, the whales, know the people that are holding and have the warehouses that are distributing and doing fulfillment for Pokemon cards? You don't think they're trying to talk with those people? You don't think they're getting those deals? Do you really think that there's people out there? There are literally people out there that believe that we are the problem, right? But there's no problem. It's how it's happening, right? So we're gonna get into all the cards here later, and I'll get back to that. But the big guys are basically, they don't care about, they want to hold and store their value, right? And so they are more than happy to pay market price if they can get it from a distributor, because then they can spend 5 million and just have it all, right? They would rather do that. And then they see all of the Ascended Heroes go up by 50%. 50% on $1 million is half a million in a month. There are people probably doing that. I don't know anyone, but I can guarantee you people are doing that. Even the distributors, if they're smart enough, they're holding, right? They're going to hold a lot and wait, right? They're waiting for right now when they can sell it when it's, at $165 when it, retails at market price for $60. So it's made $100, right? Everyone that is buying all these Facebook Marketplace, selling on Facebook Marketplace for their Ascended Heroes, this is a huge opportunity for you guys, right? Because they're gonna sell at like 120. You know, that is a huge deal, especially for Ascended Heroes. Like, look at the total value. Total value, we're sitting at 7,777. That is an insane total value. The Pokemon community has never seen that. And I think Perfect Order absolutely just boosted it so much because no one wants it. No one wants it. Everyone knows. Everyone knows. They're not going to probably reprint as much because they know the set sucks. No one's buying it. You should see how many people and business owners I've talked to, and they're like, I can't even sell it. Right? They're literally selling at like 80% because they have to pay. They have to pay off their credit cards. People are. Businesses need to burn and turn, right? That's what they're for, right? And when you get to a point where you can't burn and turn, and you just have to sit on it, right? You have to keep lowering the price because they have to sell. They literally have to sell, and that's when you get into a point where later on, when maybe we don't really know, right? If the Pokemon Center company comes out and they just absolutely print it to everything to the ground, there's product everywhere, and the prices become normal, then a lot of businesses are going to go down, right? It's a cause and effect. They can't burn and turn things as fast. There's big distributors that have a lot of product where they can sell it better than you can. Then it's just, once it gets to that point, it's going to be really sad. But I honestly don't see that in any time soon. I don't see it in 5 years. I just don't see it. And we'll see when the print facility comes out to really tell on how that works. But it's too far down the road. I believe that you can't even really talk about it. And so people that are telling you that Pokemon's going to crash and all this other stuff, it's like, have you not seen the market? Do you know anything about Pokemon? Like, literally this chart that I'm showing you right here, like, it just feels so normal now. It's just so normal that there's just so much growth and things are moving a lot quicker, right? It's just no one even seems to like bother about that anymore. Like, yeah, it's Pokemon, it's gonna go up, right? There's literally randoms that I meet that have no idea about Pokemon. They're like, oh my god, have you seen what Pokemon's been doing? Like, I heard about Pokemon. Like, I don't know, I see it on TikTok, I see it on Instagram, and I just see it. Everything's just going crazy. People are talking about their numbers that they're making, and it's just normal. Like, it's just normal. That's it. Just normal. And that's what we see. Um, I wanted to I wanted to go and show you guys Ascended Heroes. Like, this is why we're investing in Ascended Heroes. The top 8 cards, they're all over 150 bucks. You've got Gengar, Mega Gengar, which everyone loves. Everyone loves. We got Pikachu, probably the best, I don't know, honestly, one of the best Pikachus I've ever seen. One of the best Pikachus. I think Pikachu will eventually be worth more than the Mega Gengar. Personal opinion. I honestly don't think Mega Gengar, I would ever pay 1,500 for that Gengar. I just honestly don't really like the look of it. But that's why I think the Pikachu is a lot better. Honestly, I think that Mega Dragonite looks better than the Mega Gengar art wise. That's just my opinion, right? My opinion, I believe the Pikachu and the Mega Dragonite and even the Mega Mewtwo look better than the Mega Gengar. So I believe those should all be worth more than the Mega Gengar, but that's not how it is, right? It doesn't really matter what I think because the market's going to do what the market's going to do. And this setup, right? We've got Gengar, Pikachu, Dragonite, Mega Charizard, Mewtwo, another Pikachu, Mega Dragonite, 2 golds. We got Zoroark, you got Clefairy, and we got Feraligatr. Like, those just 8 right there. Solid crew to have as the top cards. And it shows. It shows. And so today was just really explaining to you guys what my strategy, I'm holding for the long term. I'm waiting for Prismatic Evolutions to get its, 4x. Get it, because I believe it's going to be over that $600 mark, and we're gonna wait for that, right? Once it gets over to that $600, $700 mark, we're gonna be selling a lot of our ETBs, and we'll probably see where Ascended Heroes, since it'll be the next block. So hopefully, this is at, Prismatic Evolutions is at like 600, 700, and then we're gonna be selling all of that to buy Ascended Heroes. Once hopefully it's probably gonna stay around the same. We're gonna see, because it's doing some crazy things, and excited to see where the future of Pokemon is headed. But that is all I got today. Please leave a like and comment if you haven't already. Please give me a subscription.